Hey, it's a half of the day. I'm not going to tell you what time it is. It's just, you know what time it is. It is, what is the time? Oh, that's right. It's off night, folks. It's off night, folks. That's what it is. It's off night. And you know who's going to help you with off night? It's just a grand day because it's nice. It's rainy. We got the garbage out, and we're all set to settle in and listen to Mark Sweetman as your MC.
Hey, I believe I'm the host. I don't know if the MC is the.
Oh, I'll call you the host.
Yeah,
okay.
All right.
The host has many meanings. Like, you know, in Star Trek, it's you have a parasite inside you, and that is the host.
Yes, that's right.
We don't want to go there. You know, I want to be able to explain it to people. So, all right.
I get it. And here's my sidekick and announcer, Andy Jensen. Welcome back, Andy, as always.
Hey, good seeing you again.
How was your week since last Monday? I did see you last night, so I guess I could have caught up then, but I like to save it for the show, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just, you know, I really haven't done too much, really. Just try to prepare for that. I've been driving like a maniac. Almost got killed on the road.
Are you making any money? Are you making any money now with the gas prices? Did they give you a fuel boost?
No, it's not really doing. It's not really helping because they can't really adjust as much as the gas is going up.
Right.
So I'm really now. I gotta tell you, I don't really do. I have that initial bill to pay to rent the vehicle, and that kind of takes a big chunk out of it. So I'm kind of like, I'm really debating whether I should just, you know, cash it in and just sort of try and see if I can just do delivery of like pizzas or something like that.
Are you making your nut? I mean, are you paying your rent and eating and all that?
I am barely paying my rent, but it's sort of like I have all these other little things going on. But I think it's going to turn around. So if I could work at something else, I think I could probably make okay. It's just not working very heavily for me. Like Jason has his own vehicle.
Right.
Now, he has a nut, but his nut's not as big.
So he's not paying rent. He's not paying rent in addition to gas. Then is what you're saying.
That's true. Well, he is paying it somehow, but we don't want to talk about that. So anyway,
now
I'm kidding.
You know, everybody's paying $15 an hour though now, right? I mean, if you could get any kind of other job, you know.
Yeah. So I've talked to a couple of I went to the ball game, and there's now a bus that goes directly from Ann Arbor to the downtown area where you can just walk 3 blocks to get to the ball game.
I've seen that bus. It goes when I'm taking my wife to work downtown. I see that bus all the time. So that's the only 2 stops, downtown Ann Arbor and downtown Detroit. That's it.
That's it. It's just a direct route. Takes an hour to get there. It's actually starting to build up a group of guys going. So it's pretty good.
I would think so. I would think that's 2 of the largest cities in the state, and there's a lot of cross traffic between the two. That makes sense that if they could probably run that 4 or 5 times a day, probably.
Yeah, they're actually doing it quite a bit. And you know, the plus side is it is kind of packed during the early part of the morning because I think people go down there to work back and forth.
Right.
But the thing about the baseball aspect is those are open fairly well, and it's like the cost is just pretty nominal. So it's $12 for a round trip. So you don't have to worry about your car. No.
Considering the city bus is $2, that you go from one state intercity, you're going only 3 times the price for 10 times the mileage. That's not bad.
Yeah, and you're less than 3 blocks away from the ballpark. And it's
that works
great for an afternoon. You can actually you might be able to do it for a night game because they have at 11 o'clock a final bus out at 11 o'clock heading back to Ann Arbor. So
yeah, you could do that as long as I would think for the 11 o'clock bus they'd move the bus stop closer to the stadium because it drops off at the transit center over by Michigan Avenue and Washington Boulevard, right?
No, actually, it drops off around where they call it the circus, where the fountain is.
Oh, Grand Circus.
Grand Circus, where the fountain is.
Oh, yeah. That's right by the stadium. Then that's not bad.
Yeah, that's right. And you go in, you go to the pizza bar, have a pizza, a drink or two, head to the bar, head to the game, come back. So I can actually drink now when I go to the ball game.
You can drink at the games because you don't have to drive home. Not a bad deal.
Exactly. So it was pretty good.
Yeah.
The game was
my wife works downtown. She still can't get a bus downtown. We got to drive. We got to drive like 8 miles to get to a bus so she can take a bus downtown. That's ridiculous. Hey, speaking of my wife, she's here with her poem. Are you ready? We'll do the poem, then we'll bring Sam on. Already heard from Jason. Jason will not be here, so I'll provide the aging male gay perspective tonight. So,
okay. Did you get a host? Anyway,
anyway, here's my lovely bride Susan with her news event poem of the week.
Okay.
He'll do gay with the alternate definition. Happy, light.
Yeah.
Now, Mark actually brought up a point last night. He was kind of wondering, like, my set was so good last night. He was wondering how is it that I didn't make it? And I tell you, and I'll point to it right now. You stood behind your man. You helped him all the way. That's why he made it. Okay. Me, I didn't have you. I didn't have anybody behind me. I was out there suffering on my own, okay? I was striving hard on my own, but he had you, okay? That's why he survived. That's why he was successful.
No matter how bad my sets were, I got to go home to this. So
yes. So there you go. So that's why I am over here in a single room with a cot. And you are living life.
Did you see our T-shirts we wore on our anniversary? Survived 39 years. He was driving home, but it wasn't always with me.
Survived 39 years. Good.
So I survived. I'm still here, and we're still married, but
well, anyway, compliment to you both.
It's been 39 years of wedded dis. Bum. All right, let's go to the poem.
All right, on with the poem.
She should come. I'm trying to get her to come up at the Unclub because
I might.
Oh,
that'd be
good.
All right, here we go. This is a short one, so I'll be out of your way soon. The news is sad and very bleak. Too many shootings across America this week. A new quarter will feature Cherokee leader Wilma Mankiller. She was the first Indian chief, a community pillar. Great Britain just finished the Queen's Jubilee. They celebrated Elizabeth II's 70th anniversary. A semi-truck rolled over in Illinois. No one died, but the interstate was a mess. It got frozen pie. There were thousands of pies all over the interstate in Illinois.
Wow.
That was
what kind were they?
What
kind of pies were they?
They were frozen pies, so probably fruit. I didn't read the entire article, but it caught my attention. So
was it
comedy pies are a classic. So there you have it.
Yeah, for the purposes of this show, since we're comedians, they were cream pies.
Cream pies, oh, of course, yes.
They were Soupy Sales style cream pies. All right. That's out of the way. A couple of talking points. I particularly like. I did not know this, that a Cherokee leader was named Wilma Mankiller, and immediately when I saw that her name was Mankiller, I'm thinking about the old story of naming the baby. You look outside the tent, the first thing you see.
Actually, I can add a little bit of historical significance to that. Mankiller has something to do with. She had an ancestor in her family tree that was a military leader.
Oh, well, at least we've advanced that far. We don't call them man killers anymore. We've softened that up a little bit. Anyway, let's get Sammy in here. We always need our East Coast. And you know what? We're just provincial Midwestern Great Lakes guys. Sammy is our cosmopolitan coast to coast man of the hour. Here he is, Sam Greenfield, everybody.
I'm very glad that I'm on the camera now because I was looking at my picture just before you brought me up, and my head was the size of Michael Keaton at the end of Beetlejuice. So, glad to be up here. And also, Andy, when you said you can go to a pizza bar and get pizza, I was about to join the no shit club.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
and they have beer too. You know,
I think what he meant was he can enjoy himself at the game because he doesn't have to drive home anymore.
Oh, and one more thing, Andy.
Yes.
Stop harassing Mark's wife. She said there were pies on. What kind of pies were they?
Need to drink
were they fruit? Were they cream? Jesus, man, why don't you just beat her with a rubber hose? She didn't know. It's in Illinois. You're in Michigan.
I was just trying to live
Enough.
vicariously through her. That was all. I just wanted to know what the pies were. How many pies?
And by the way, everybody in England under the age of 25 join the Who Gives a Shit club about the Queen. Okay.
First of all,
just think about her intestines.
Nevertheless, what?
Andy,
her intestines have been operating for 98 years. How many years? Those
96.
intestines have been operating.
96 years old.
96 years old. Those intestines have been going for 96 years.
Stop it! You're getting me aroused.
90. Andy now 2 weeks in a row has done a killer set at the Unclub, our Sunday night show in Ypsilanti, and good for you because I know you don't go out and tour like you used to, and so it's hard to get up there after not been in practice for a while. So good set.
Yeah. So thanks. Huh? I'm being inspired by you guys.
Well, you know what it
trying
is.
To do what people into myself.
Well, I'm pointing when you're up on stage. I'm pointing out to some of the younger comics. Go, you see how many of the people that don't have to laugh are laughing at Andy? You know, or with Andy, not Andy. With Andy.
That's why they say, did you make them laugh? I never, they don't say, did you have them? I'm making you laugh.
I'm making you laugh. Exactly.
Yeah.
But we have the Unclub is we're trying to make it not an open mic like every other open mic where every schmo gets up there. We're trying to curate it a little bit so that we can have some people, so guys like me and Andy and a couple of the older guys. Curram is another one. These are people that are on the circuit, or what was the circuit before it all collapsed, and we get up there and we just kind of start winging whatever we got. Andy and Curram, in fact, come with empty notebooks and they take notes during the show. We put them up last and they do like a roast of the show. That's kind of fun. But then the young comics, they're just trying to get their feet underneath them so that they feel comfortable on stage and stuff. So it's a good mix. It's a good mix.
So your class is working pretty well. Those guys coming to
the
class.
The class has been suspended for the summer because I just don't have the time to get there on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're probably not going to do that again until September.
Okay, all right.
All right. And I'm going to formalize it a little more too because I want to start charging for it.
That's formalizing it.
That's formalizing it. What? How much? How much? This wisdom doesn't come cheaply. This is 35 years of wisdom. What are you talking?
I just realized that Andy looks like someone who got picked up by a Navy destroyer after being stranded on a Japanese island.
Oh,
Andy, you can add that.
Andy, I didn't say you were Japanese, Seshu.
Oh, sorry. I just adapt.
Andy, you can add that to your list. You can add that to your list.
Yeah, that's right.
When he opens up his set with a bunch of
I thought of that because yesterday I saw I was watching TV. I saw one of the greatest movies ever, Bridge on the River Kwai.
No, that is a great movie. That is a great movie.
And the insanity of Alec Guinness.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Alec Guinness plays a captain, a major. Colonel Bogey, a colonel in the British Army who's captured by the Japanese, and they force him because he's a slave to them. He's a prisoner, to build them a bridge that will connect Bangkok to wherever they are and allow a military train filled with Japanese who will destroy and kill people. And he is so British by the book that he wants to show these Japs how to build a bridge. So he builds it.
Yes.
Because he's insane.
Yeah.
And it's got a great cast. William Holden, Alec Guinness,
Yeah.
Great
William Holden.
Japanese actor Sesshu
Be happy in
Hayakawa.
your work.
Yeah.
So always be
Um,
happy in your work. There we go.
That's right. Who else? Jack Hawkins.
Jack Hawkins.
It's a great film. Where'd you see it? Which service was it on?
He
I
plays
don't know.
he plays
It
the
leaves us a
British
bit of a
soldier
difficulty.
who gets who takes William Holden back. William Holden was a prisoner who escaped.
Right.
See,
Yeah.
that's the only part of that movie that I thought was bogus. William Holden escapes from a Japanese prison. He goes through 8 layers of hell to get out of there. He gets dysentery. He's sick as shit. Now he's in a British club, literally a British club, with a gorgeous nurse, living the life. And they say, "Would you like to go back and help destroy the bridge?" Sure.
Sure.
What? No, absolutely not.
No, I'd
Well,
be like
you left
this.
us a bit
Yeah,
of a
listen,
difficulty.
let
We
me
found out that
consult.
your Navy decided to give
Yeah,
you over to us.
Let me consult my Swami. Okay, I'll be back in 3 years. Are you out of your mind? But yeah, he went.
We will let you keep the honorary
line should have been
rank of major. Would that be okay?
William Holden's line should have been, excuse me, you're mistaking me for being British.
Yes.
Exactly. You know, there's a great line. I don't know who invented this, but there was an agent, a big agency, theatrical agency in New York. And all of the agents were told to dress in Savile Row, the top of the line Savile Row suits. Okay. And their slogan was, and I'm not kidding, dress British, think Yiddish.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Yes. Jack Hawkins is my favorite character.
Died of throat cancer.
Oh,
yeah, I
poor
remember.
guy.
I remember. Yeah. Hey, here's a line I heard this week from an actual person that says, now the liberal media is reporting every mass shooting, even the small ones.
This is the reason I'm not on TV. Because someone would say, Sam, you can't tell Brian Kilmeade to go fuck himself. You can't. I go, but don't you want to? Don't you really want to? Well, here's my thing about Fox News, okay? Every other network, MSNBC, CNN, they could report, I don't know if you heard about this, there's a new cancer drug. And it's only for right now for people suffering from rectal cancer, okay?
Okay.
But this drug has been administered to 15 people, and they all went into remission.
Wow.
Wow.
Is that the one they're
not
saying
just kind of cured, into remission?
Is this the one that they're talking about on the news tonight for
It has to be.
They're talking about
It
something that's been curing women with breast cancer or something like that?
No, this is just rectal cancer.
Oh, just
the
rectal?
name of it is the name of it is Shits Away. Sorry. Terribly sorry.
Pulling our leg, are you?
Hey, have you been seeing these videos of
How you doing?
Senator Cruz being confronted out in public?
Yes.
He may have to stop going out in public.
Gee, what a shame.
Oh, and did you hear there? I guess there was a bill that was on CBS tonight, and this is a bill that's been around for a long time, and it hasn't been put to sleep yet, and it hasn't been passed. But it's just, I guess it's Rand Paul that's holding it up. But it's to keep.
Gee, really?
It's to keep private all the what is now public information of judges in the country. I don't know what at least federal, probably state judges. But Rand Paul's held it up because he wants to include congressmen too as the people that have their personal information being.
By personal information, what do you mean?
Phone numbers, addresses, just ways to.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. I'm not in favor of that. People can get killed. People get killed. A judge just had his son murdered. No, I'm not in favor of that.
Well, not just that. The judge, that's when that's the son. The judge that had her son killed is the one who got her congressman to actually propose it and bring it up. But then there was another judge that just got killed in Wisconsin, and the guy had a hit list. I don't know if he killed himself or if the police shot him when they came into the house, something like that. But he had a hit list on him that had Governor
Whitmer,
Governor Whitmer, and
I heard about this.
And the Kentucky, Turtle Face, the Kentucky senator. I can't remember the
McConnell.
McConnell. They had McConnell on the list, and they had other. He does look like a turtle, though.
Yes, he does. By the way, a very dear friend of mine who refers to all Republicans as cousin fuckers.
I don't think he'd be wrong.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, you know the old joke. These are people who go to family reunions to meet girls.
God, no.
But a friend of mine told me this guy's name is Eddie Gerstein, and he told me that Rand Paul. You heard about this? He had a kerfuffle with his neighbor over like a line of property, and the neighbor beat the shit out of him.
Yes, it was on his property line, something to do with mowing.
Right. You know what my friend told me?
What?
Okay, have fun. Love you both. 72 people offered to take that guy out to dinner.
How about the ghost art, the representative from Arizona who's got his whole family. His whole family campaigns against him every election. Please,
he's a Nazi.
Please do not send.
I don't say that. I don't say that lightly. By the way, he's a Nazi. He's a Nazi sympathizer. You know, he is. Wow. Yeah, Gosar's crazy. Gosar's one of those people who, this is one of the reasons that even though everybody's saying that the Democrats are going to take a bath in this election, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I just don't. I think they're going to win more seats than people realize.
Yeah, I think they got a lot of stuff happening for them.
I think if they, because it's a midterm election and usually the party in power loses, I think if they don't take the bath that they're expected to, it'll be considered a win. Probably.
But the guns is what's going to save them.
It's the guns, it's the abortion, it's all that stuff is going right down the list for getting out the vote.
It's going to be these freshman congressmen that are waving the flag for Putin is going to help the Democrats too. They're all
Well, not only them, but Tucker Carlson is waving the flag for him.
Tucker Carlson doesn't run for anything. He can say whatever he wants.
No, but what I'm saying is, I can't understand. Well, Trump does it, but Trump's mentally ill. But I can't. He is. I think he is. But Trump, I can't understand supporting Putin. What has he done to make you go, "That's my guy"?
I told you this about 12 weeks ago when this came up in discussion. I think the reason why the American right likes Russia so much is because they've taken care of the Negro problem by not having any.
Well, that's part of it. Well, here's my thing. I don't know if you read about it. You must have read about this, that Donald Trump Jr., Mark Meadows, 12 congressmen, 9 of whom were Republicans, Bob Barr, begged Trump to send those rednecks home on January 6th.
Oh, I know. Bill
Barr He didn't do it. And the reason I don't think he did it is because remember when you were a kid, a little kid, and 2 kids were going to duke it out at the end of school. And when they faced each other, they really didn't want to fight. They're like, well, what are we doing? And there'd be one kid not in the fight who'd be going, "Are you going to fight or what? Come on, let's get it going." That's Trump.
I remember those. You know what? And I remember those fights too, because we would always surround the fighters so that the teachers couldn't get in to break it up. You remember that?
Exactly.
Remember that circle that you put around the fight? Then we grew up. Republicans.
Yeah, and the reason Trump does that is because Trump doesn't have the balls to fight somebody. Remember, at one of his rallies, he said, "Somebody slap that guy. Why don't you, fat ass? Why don't you take a swing at him, blubber titties? Why don't you do it?" Because he's a punk. Yeah. He is. He's a coward. He's a punk. In fact, I told people if you want to get Trump's goat, send a letter to Donald Trump, care of Punk Bitch Hotel, Mar-a-Lago.
I think everything that needs to be said about Trump is just proven out by how he throws his own kids under the bus.
Oh, I remember early on. I don't know if you remember this. He said, "Listen, even if Don is guilty," holy shit.
I know.
But see, here's the thing about Donald Trump Jr. And I don't understand this, except he's stupid. He's truly stupid. his father, I've told you this before, he's doing all this to win his father's approval. And his father will never love him as much as he loves himself. Never.
Never.
Ever.
Nope.
You know, the only one he loves more than himself is Ivanka for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. She looks good on his lap is what he likes. Yeah.
Oh, God. You know, it's funny you say that. I have a nephew who, was getting engaged. This is years ago. Was getting engaged, right?
Uh-huh.
And so my brother, his father, had a engagement party for them at his house in Bethesda, Maryland. And she was there, and her father was there, and her mother was there. And we're all having barbecue. And by the way, there's nothing better than Jewish barbecue. Anyway, they sorry, just kidding. Although we not make brisket.
Many herring.
Isn't that my agent's name?
What's that?
That's my agent's name, Manny Herring.
Manny Herring.
Manny Herring. Okay.
It's either that or Money Lipschitz. I forget. So
well, Manny Herring is the line from Max Bialystock to Leo Bloom.
Oh God!
In the letter from South America about how well they're doing.
How did Zero Mostel not get nominated? How did that happen?
I have no idea.
That was a great show.
Oh man! So anyway, this girl who my nephew was engaged to, who by the way they never got married, she broke off the engagement. We're sitting there, and this girl is sitting on her. Now remember, she's like 24. She's sitting on her father's lap. And my brother says to me, he says, "Come here for a minute." I say, "Yo, what's up?" He says, "Look over there." So I say, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "That's not good." That's not good. I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He says, "You're 24 years old. You're a young adult. You don't sit on your father's lap." I mean, my daughter's 23. And if I say to her, "Give me a hug," she goes, "No." Are you nuts?
So I got 3 years left. I got 3 years left. Is that what you're telling me?
That's exactly. That's right. You get them in now, buddy.
Well, my 15-year-old has already refused. So,
but I mean, we get along. We get along all just fine.
Yeah.
But hug, kiss.
But I tell you what, I bet you praise her though.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah. That's
all
the
time. She comes home. I go, "How's my fabulous daughter?" But see, here's the thing. I love this about her, and she doesn't know it. She's not a morning person. and I am. I mean, well, I'm all day, but I'm a morning person. So I get such a kick out of when she wakes up and I go, "Hey, how's it going?" And she's like, I go, "So are you working today?" She goes, "No, I always like getting up this early."
Oh.
But then, I ride it out. And along about 3:00 when she comes home from work, we talk, we have fun, but man, I mean, I said to her, "Why are you so grumpy?" She goes, "Dad, I've been your daughter since the day I was born. I'm not a morning person. If you don't know that, Dad, short of me attacking you, you should know this by now." And I said, "Well, I didn't think about it." She said, "Think about it. Please, I'm begging you. This is my favorite line. Your cheerfulness is eating me alive. It's killing me. I can't take it." So I leave her be. Sometimes she'll say to me, because she's got stuff, she'll go, "Would you lock me out, please?" or something like that. And then I go, "Have a great day. I love you." She goes, "I love you too." And that's it. If she's not a morning person, she's not. She's an adult now. So she can be a person, who hates getting up in the morning. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me, in terms of what's my favorite time of day. And she said to me, why do you not have a favorite time of day? And this is the honest truth. I said, "I survived cancer. All day is my favorite time of day."
Yep.
Okay.
She can appreciate it, I'm sure.
That's right. God, my hair looks like it's surrendering. What is that?
Did you have a haircut or something?
Yeah, but Jesus Christ, what is that? That looks like 5 fingers of death. Jesus
you,
Christ.
do you put any color in your hair?
There's something behind your head there.
I
That's
look
what
like
caused
is that oh, that's
Well,
what
the
it
thing-
is. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you get something
Oh,
behind
okay.
you.
Yeah. Oh, it's the blanket. Okay.
Yeah.
Because just for a moment there, I looked like a hostile lesbian. What
Yeah.
I'm gonna have right up here. I'm gonna have to start putting makeup on here because I'm getting that shine from the.
Oh
from the
yeah.
light.
From
Well,
the
you know,
sun.
my wife
You
said
were
to me,
brown.
"Are you?
Okay.
Do you ever think?" My wife said, "Do you ever think about like getting like transplants?" I said, "Listen,
Plugs.
I'm 74. Okay, I've had a full head of hair my entire life. My entire life, I've had a full, rich head of hair. I have one now. I mean, it's really short, but I have a full head. I said, if I lose my hair now, fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
I remember when you had that.
I would like to see you at 80 years old with plugs, going to the clubs trying to pick up chicks. That would be
By the
amazing.
way, if
I
you're
knew you
80,
I knew you back in your 30s when you had what we used to call a Jew fro.
oh, absolutely. I have pictures of that. I have pictures of that. And my daughter looked at it and said, "What were you planning to do with that haircut?" That's such a great line. That is such a great line. What are you planning
What
to?
were you
Not
planning to
what.
do?
Yeah,
What was
not
the-
why do you have your hair like that? What? Well, I have plans to raise that hair as a child. What are you talking about?
I can just hear. I can just say,
Yeah, what was the purpose of it?
my kids would put it this way. They go, "What was your thought process? What
Exactly.
what was going through your
What-
head?"
My
Or-
thought
or
was
my-
to swaddle it in a leisure
I'm waiting
suit with a
for-
big
I'm waiting for
gold
her to say,
chain on
what
it.
kind of crisis were you going through when you?
Exactly. Was this your idea or your therapist's idea?
Well, the thing is that the Jew fro was just I have naturally curly hair, so the Jew fro was just an outreach of that. And my daughter said, "Dad, I'm black. Don't lie to me. You used a pick."
You use a pick and afro sheen.
One, two, Wazuri.
Afro suit. There you go.
Oh God.
Well, most of the Jews in the States, though, are from Northern Europe, though. So
That's right.
it's not like they got it from Africa. So a lot of it was just that if you don't cut the hair after a while, it starts to curl up.
Since I started doing this, help me. Since I started doing this show,
right?
You and Andy, and what's his name?
Jason,
the
other bearded one,
are the first 3 comics from Detroit, and the other people also, but you 3 essentially, that didn't do racist humor.
Really?
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Well, Ted Norkie didn't.
Oh yeah.
Ted Norkie didn't.
Norkie was cool.
Yeah. Norkie used to do this thing where he would chew a cracker.
Yep. Oh God, I love that. I got a great story.
Do Ed Sullivan. Oh my God. Oh my God, was he funny?
He would do all kinds of. The idea was every impression he did, he would do while eating crackers. So here's Jack Nicholson eating crackers.
Yes.
Here's Ed Sullivan eating crackers. Here's
but you know what?
Here's Julia Child eating crackers.
You know what he did that really he made me laugh so hard I almost lost my breath. We were working together at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst.
Mm-hmm.
To listen to this lineup: me, him, and Kevin Meaney.
Oh God!
Oh wow!
Oh God! That's a great lineup.
And so Norkie looks over at me. He's 2 minutes from going on stage, and he goes, "This is hard for me to explain, but normally I hate short guys, but so far you're okay." I laughed so hard. I go, "So far?" He goes, "Yeah, at any moment I could just fucking despise you." And so he gets off stage. He gets off stage, and he looks. Yeah, I just realized both those guys are dead. Jesus.
Yeah.
He looks at me and goes, "All right, I'm kind of lukewarm now, but not hateful." And so at the end of the night, he goes, "I was just kidding, right?" I go, Yeah. He goes, thank God. I've done that with other people and they get offended or they
Yeah.
get hurt. And I go, does that bother you? And he goes, I hope this makes sense, but no, it doesn't, because I realize if they didn't realize I was joking, then they're stupid. So I'm better off not associating with them at all. I go, oh, okay. He says, these are the kind of guy. He went through this whole dialogue with me. He said, these are the kind of guys that call you a week after you tell them a joke and go, oh, I get it. I go, oh, okay. But yeah, he was a very nice guy. And Kevin, Jesus, was he funny? Oh man.
Norky got hit by a car one time, and he was supposed to be headline. Yeah, he did not. His health issues were not just the cancer.
They're monumental.
Yeah, but anyway, he got hit by a car one time. He was supposed to be headlining the castle, and I was the MC. And so Ridley says, well, we got at least 4 or 5 strong headliners that can each, we'll just have them come in. We'll be a showcase night, So I still MC'd. And so I explained to everybody that I said, Ted was supposed to be here. He's not here, but Tim Allen's here. Jerry Elliott's here. These were names that everybody in Detroit would recognize. Sheila Kay is here, blah, 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 blah. And so everybody else goes up and does like 10 minutes each and stuff like that. And so then I get up and I got these crackers in my hand, but I don't show them to the audience. I got them in my left hand. And I said, yeah, you wouldn't believe it. Ted isn't here, and all the comics that you saw tonight, they're back there drawing lots to see which bits they're going to get if he doesn't make it. And then
my God.
And we expect to hear from the hospital any minute now. And I look up at my watch and there's cracker packets in my hand.
Oh, that's hysterical. That is so clever.
The place exploded. We're drawing lots to see who gets Ted's.
Oh, by the way, you mentioned Jerry Elliott.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry Elliott once held up an afro comb and went, "Key to the city of Detroit."
Oh, shit. Yeah. Okay. It wouldn't surprise me if he told racist jokes, but.
Well, I told you the story about him, right? That he and I were supposed to be working with Louis Anderson.
Yeah, so he told Sobel not to
have me middle because I didn't have enough time, and he was the one who he didn't have enough time.
And he gets up there and he gets the spot, so he gets up there and bullshits without the time. Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah. So he said, "Wow, they were tough." I said, "Well, if you don't have any material, they're tough."
Yeah.
I told Sobel this. He did something once, and he got really, he never got mad at anybody. He got really mad at me. There was a guy, I'm not going to remember his name. He was from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He wore a cowboy hat. He had a whip, literally a whip. And he opened his act with, "I'm from Tulsa. That's a slut spelled backwards." And funny, huh? No? Right.
I know. It sounds very familiar to me. I'm trying to think of who that is.
And so we're working together first in Columbus, Ohio. That was the caravan tour.
Yeah.
And then in Louisville. And Sobel said to me, "Sam, you're headlining this week." I said, "Yeah, I know." He said, "I want you to give up the headliner's bedroom."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, the guy whose name we can't remember, he's here with his girlfriend, and they shouldn't have to, be in a smaller room." And I went, "You're kidding."
What?
"You're absolutely kidding." And he goes, "No, it would really mean a lot to me." I go, "Okay, it would really mean a lot to me if you paid me an extra $100. He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm not giving up the room unless you pay me extra C note." And he went, "You are fucking shitting me," like that. I went, "No, I'm very serious. I'm not sacrificing that room because Johnny Hack, wants a little room so he can bone his chick. No, absolute no. And he goes, "I would take it as a personal." I said, "I don't care if you would take it as a candy bar. I'm not giving it up without a C note."
Wow.
And he said, "You're going to regret this." I said, "No, I'm not. Why would I regret it? I'm getting $100. And that stiff from Tulsa has to, slide his ass over a little." Yeah, I said, "Frankly, Tom, I think you have huge balls asking me to give up the headliner's room. You know how many times I've middled or slept in the same room with another guy because you couldn't fucking afford another hotel room? I didn't say anything. Well, I'm not giving it up. So either pay me extra $100 or forget it." But that's not what made him mad. What made him mad was he said, All right, I'll do it. I said, I want it now. And he said, you don't trust me? I said, I want it now. And he gave me the extra 100, and he was furious. He didn't talk to me the rest of the week. And if you know Sobel, this guy could talk the balls off a pool table. So the fact that he wouldn't talk to me, you know, he would ask Hitler, so what were the camps like? So, you know, so the fact that he wouldn't talk to, I didn't give a shit. I literally did not give a shit. And normally I'm a guy who's like, yeah, it's fine. No, fuck him. No, fuck that guy. What? He wants a little more room with his girlfriend. Don't bring your woman.
Yeah.
Don't bring, you know, don't, and don't you dare to think, you know, that I was going to give up the room that you would just impose on me. So
Michael Guerin.
No.
Not him?
Michael Guerin is a pianist who wrote the play Song of Singapore.
All right, hold on. Let me see what else I got. I'm looking up people that use the A slut line in their act.
No, that guy wrote Song of Singapore, which was a very successful off-Broadway play with Donna Murphy. And he and I used to be friends until he told one of the most tasteless jokes I've ever heard in my life. How do you get Michael Jordan to quit playing basketball?
Oh, no.
Kill his mother.
Oh, wow.
Man,
that's not even funny.
That isn't. I don't even.
Well, you know why he said it. You know, because his father was murdered.
His father died and he quit. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. And here's the other one. I had met Liam Neeson's woman. What was her name? Oh, God damn it. I can't remember her name. But she died in a skiing accident.
Oh.
And Michael and I used to talk every day, Michael Guerin. And he said, I wrote a song and what was her name? I'm not going to remember. One of you fuckers Google. Anyway, he said, I wrote a song in honor of her. And I said, what's it called? Ain't That a Kick in the Head? And I said, listen, that's not funny. And you're not funny.
Natasha Richardson.
Thank you very much. I said, you know, she was, I met her. She was a lovely person. You know, why would you say that?
She got a nomination, didn't she? Wasn't she nominated for something? I should look her up.
Probably. You're a great actress.
Yeah.
And I said, why would you say something that you know in your heart is that tasteless? You know it. And I said, and you know me well enough to know I wouldn't laugh at a joke like that. So every time he called me after that, I wouldn't answer the phone. And then his girlfriend, now his wife, called me and said, who the fuck do you think you are? I said, who is this? I'm Michael's girlfriend. I said, then why don't you go fuck him? And I'm going to go eat breakfast. And I think that was the end of the relationship. Not of her and him. But yeah, that joke about kill his mother. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. She was the daughter, the daughter of Tony Richardson and Vanessa Redgrave.
That's right. Tony Richardson, who was a famous director. And
gay, wasn't he gay?
You know, that's the problem with you. You know, you take it up the ass once and all of a sudden you're a homosexual.
Suddenly,
you know, come on.
Women can explore all they want, but one dick in your life, you're a homosexual.
My line has always been, whose dick do I got to suck to prove that I'm not gay? You know?
That's funny.
That's good.
You know, you fist fuck one 9-year-old and all of a sudden you're a criminal.
Well, that's Norky's line. Remember that? Remember Norky's line? You go to hate class reunions. It's always axe murderer this, axe murderer that.
Well, you know, who was it? Dave Attell. He said, I keep getting these letters. Oh, no. I used to keep getting these letters from the Alumni Association of my college, but they stopped recently when they said, so what have you been doing lately? And my response has been child pornographer. I think Attell is one of the 2 or 3 funniest people I've ever seen in my life.
I tell you what,
I think
he's one of the guys. It's Craig Shoemaker, Lewis Black's what's her name? The girl that travels with Lewis Black a lot. Kathleen Madigan, Craig Shoemaker, Kathleen Madigan, and Dave Attell have annual dates at the Comedy Castle. Those are the only three that appear.
I bet they do.
Those three appear every year. Tom Sharp used to be in the mix, but Tom Sharp retired.
You know the joke, the great joke that Madigan tells. She says, "I'm in New Orleans, and I got a cigarette in one hand and a drink and a hot dog in the other. And this woman comes up to me from Amnesty International and says, 'Can I talk to you about the future?' She goes, 'Hey, you better hurry.'" I think and the joke she does about her father and mother, she's brilliant.
Yeah, she is. And she's
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Every time she comes to town, she does an hour-long set and 30 minutes are new every time. I mean, she rotates
she's a writing fool.
Like we talked about, Carlin used to rotate stuff in. She does the same thing. She rotates in, new hour.
My favorite Attell joke, is it my favorite? Yeah, is, my father was a sergeant in the Marines. He's a very tough guy. When my brother told him he was gay, he said, "Go outside and walk it off." Attell is just unbelievably funny and so clever. And he also writes in new material all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He and I were almost roommates.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh.
And he said, "I don't think I should be your roommate." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, you quit smoking and I smoke." And I said, "You know something? I think the world of you, but that's a fair point. I think you're right." He goes, "And also I can't stand you." He goes, "No, seriously, I think it would be doing you an injustice, I said, "I know what it really is. You're scared that one day you're going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to go into your room and steal all your jokes." He goes, "All right, there's that too. But I've never seen him. I don't think he's gay, but I've never seen him with a girl."
Huh.
He would tell.
And I mean, he's got to have money coming out of his poop, and he's funny and he's a nice guy.
Yep.
He's a very nice guy. I don't know. I have no idea.
All right. The monarchy, is it going to make it after Elizabeth's gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of get the idea that they might be sick of it over there, and they're just.
Well, it's going to be Charles.
They just love the Queen too much.
It's going to be Charles, and Charles is like my age, and Charles is Charles is of an era where he'll do the pomp and circumstance. Where it's going to fold is when William becomes king.
Wow.
That's where I think it's going to fall down. But not with Charles.
I think it depends on how old he is when he takes. If he's as old as his father is.
Well, if Charles is 75, let's say 74,
right?
And let's say that family has age lineage. I mean,
well, his dad lived to be 90. Didn't his dad live to be 99? His dad lived to be 99. So.
And his grandmother lived to be 101.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the question is, do they bring in tourist dollars?
Oh shit!
Yeah. By having this.
And by the way, that is the question.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they are worth whatever they're paid. They make that back easy.
In spades.
Yes.
In spades.
Just being who they are, and they don't even have to be. They just have to go out on that balcony once a month. That's about even that. Even they don't even have to do that much.
That's it. That's it.
And that's the thing, and it props the whole thing up because it's all a show.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't realize that they even did any governing until I saw The Crown. That was a great series, by the way.
Oh man, that was fantastic.
But I got a lot more respect for Queen Elizabeth after seeing that, about how much she really did take. She understood that she didn't do any of the lawmaking and any of the. She
knew her place.
She knew her place, and she knew that and she told them, all I can do is influence and help support you if you're going in the direction I want you to, and kind of look the other way and let the people hate you if you don't go the way I think it should
So
go.
Elizabeth and Diana are one day driving down the road with their chauffeur,
I
and
like
a
it already.
highwayman. Do you know this one?
No, but I like it already. Just
A highwayman comes out of nowhere, pulls a gun, holds them up, takes some of their valuables, and takes the car and drives off. So they're walking back to Buckingham Palace. And Elizabeth says to Diana, I noticed that you still have some of your jewelry. And she says, yes, Your Majesty, I'm perhaps embarrassed to say, but I hid most of it in my privates. And I noticed, Your Majesty, you still have your crown and tiara. And she goes, yes, I'm older than you. I've had more children. I hid them in my privates. And then the queen thought for a minute and said, you know, it's a pity Margaret wasn't with us. We could have saved the rolls.
Oh man,
That's cool. That's a good one.
That is a good one. You know, if you tell that to an English audience, they explode. Except for one woman who said, I don't think it's good to disparage the queen. And I said, fine, I'll never bring up Truman Capote's name again.
hello.
And I tell you, one of my favorite moments is that thing where I told you this, right? The guy's hitting the mic. He sucked as a comic. He sucked. And he keeps hitting the mic and goes, is this thing on?
Yeah.
And someone in the audience goes, yes. That killed me. Yes, please, God. Somebody beat me up. You know that William Shatner is 90?
Who is?
William Shatner.
Yeah.
Is he old? I thought he was older than 90.
He's 90, and he went up in space at the age of 90.
Wow.
Yep. And jerked off the entire time.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you?
They show him like going around, just looking out the windows and saying, "Wow, wow."
I jizzed on the capsule.
Have you ever seen Maurice LaMarche's YouTube video on how to do William Shatner?
No.
You need to Google or put into the YouTube search Maurice. You know Maurice LaMarche, right?
Of course I do. Sure, great impression.
He did the Dangerfield's Young Comedians special back in '83 or something. Anyway, he does all the voices now on a lot of the Nickelodeon cartoons, but he has one of the more famous William Shatners, and he does a video on how to do William Shatner. Anybody can do it. You just need these three things. I'm not going to try to do it for you, but just Google Maurice LaMarche teaches William Shatner. Or did you
know Joe Alasky?
Yes, I did. I did know Joe Alasky. I worked with him a lot at the Improv. He's one of the guys that I knew pretty well out there.
Brilliant. He
was great. And he did it. What's funny about him is he did a 350-pound Woody Allen, which I thought was all.
It was
so
Final
funny.
Frontier. And then he did Shatner doing Woody Allen. We need the eggs.
we need the eggs.
Do you know what happened to him? He and I worked together at the San Francisco Comedy Competition. Okay. And dogs are not as fixed as that fucking competition.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell you how much it's fixed. Okay. Joe Alasky got a standing ovation, and one of the judges gave him a 0 for audience response.
What?
Oh, wow.
How's that? Yeah. Yeah. Just terrible. Who won it that year? Doug. What was his name? Doug Zilla, they called him.
Oh, yeah, that's not his name. His name is
God, I hope not.
No. Oh, he posts all the time on Facebook. You know what? Keep discuss amongst yourself. I'll find it.
Is it Doug Stanhope?
No. Long before Stanhope.
It's an Italian name.
Right. Like Ferrari or something like that.
It is like Ferrari. He's looking it up.
I am looking it up. I'll find it here. Somebody's got it somewhere.
Very big names were in that competition. Dana Carvey.
Oh.
Yeah, Dana Carvey. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, here we go. We're going to get his name here for you. Doug Ferrari. Doug Ferrari. That's it. Doug Ferrari.
It is it.
Yep. American
Somebody
stand-up
asked me,
comedian and comedy
I
writer.
asked them, I said, how did Doug Ferrari win? Well, he supplied some of the judges with blow.
Well, there you go.
I'm going to tell you something. This isn't something perhaps you might know, but when I did that competition in that era, San Francisco was the cocaine capital of comedy. And that's the first time I've said that many hard C's in my life. But no, but it really was. And the other thing about San Francisco that was amazing was, you know, there's a lot of, as you already know, there's a lot of gay guys there. So if you perform comedy there and you didn't get laid and you were straight, you should jump off the fucking bridge. I mean, girls would just blow you on principle. You know.
Well, Sam, you know what? I had so much family in LA that when I did make a move to Chicago, and spent a year there. Pretty much, I just spent a year there, so I would have places to come back and work after I moved to LA. But I had so much family in LA, New York, and San Francisco were kind of out of the question. I did have family in Boston, but everybody in Boston said, "Well, we heard you're already in LA." I said, "Well, I am." They go, "But there's work here." And they go, "Oh, yeah, we're trying to get to LA. You shouldn't come here."
See, Boston and San Francisco
They
were like twins to me.
Yeah, they were like the
second.
second.
There was New York and LA. They were the big deal.
Yeah.
And then the secondary deal was Boston and San Francisco.
And Chicago. I would say Chicago was in that group too.
Well, here's the difference to me. Chicago was much more provincial and closed.
Oh, that
much
okay.
more closed.
I'll give you,
you
that.
Know,
the guy who did all three of them though. There's one guy that made it all three places. Kenny Rogerson.
Oh, I know Ken.
Kenny
you know
made
what
it.
Amazes me about him? I don't mean this with any disrespect, but in some ways he's a real degenerate, and he really works clean.
Yeah, he sure does. Yeah.
I mean, his soul is polluted, but he works so clean.
You want to hear? You want to hear a great Kenny? You want to hear a great Kenny Rogerson line?
I sure do.
All right, this was said to me at the bar after a show. Right? Do you remember Glitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Glitter was famous for basically trying to score with names. So I was never big enough for Glitter. You know, she went after the Tim Allens and the Dennis Rodmans, and
she was a star fucker.
Exactly. And so anyway, she comes in. It's the opening of Chaplin's West on Telegraph, and Kenny's opening the room, and I'm the middle. And she comes in at the end after she had been to like a Piston game or something. I can't remember what it was. And so, and she goes, and she says something to me, and she says it in a way that Kenny kind of like his eyebrow raises up, is kind of like, "Oh, do you guys have a history?" He didn't say it out loud, but after she walks away, she goes, "What's it between you two?" I go, "Well, we're old friends." She goes, "Oh, really?" I says, "Yeah." I go, and she knows quite a few things about me. I wish she didn't. And Kenny says, "Hold on, I got to compose myself because it made me laugh so hard." He goes, "What judge is going to believe someone named Glitter?"
That's hysterical. That's hysterical.
Oh God, I laughed so hard.
You know what it did to me? I thought this was actually touching. He comes into Nick's Comedy Stop, which you may not know, this was in Boston, which was owned by the mob.
I know Nick's, and I knew it was, and that had a reputation before I got there.
The nickname was the Bulletproof Lounge.
It was 2 doors down from the Connection. It was 2 doors down from the Connection,
yeah,
right?
Right, on Boylston, yeah.
Right on Boylston Street, yeah.
And so Kenny comes in.
The only red light district I've ever seen that actually had red lights.
I lived in Boston, and we were proud of that, okay?
Detroit, Chicago, New York, I never saw red lights in the red light district, but in Boston, red lights, baby. Traditionalists.
When I was living in Boston, I was having an affair with a woman who was the head of maintenance for Harvard University.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh.
She lived in a beautiful condo and fortunately for me, loved sex. And so, and weed, and would buy me stuff, you know. So one day, I was virtually living with her when I was there, you know, and Frank Santarelli, I invited him over, you know, at her place, and she comes home and he's there. And then he says, listen, I'm going to get going. And she says, you brought someone into my home and didn't ask my permission? And I went, well, Edie, I virtually live here. Get out of my house. That quick.
Wow.
That
Oh.
quick. No, please don't do it again. But get out of my house. So I said, do you think you're overreacting? I'm sorry, you're right. Get the fuck out of my house. I went, holy shit. I said, listen, do you teach a class in carrying a grudge or what the fuck? So I left. You know, they put me up in a condo, you know, for the comedy.
Right.
And so one of the guys who ran the Knicks says to me, he goes like this: I hear you've been seeing Edie. Oh no, wait a minute. No, you're not. I said, what's wrong with her? He says, she's got something about people coming into her place. He said she was dating a guy. He wasn't a comic, and he brought his daughter in, his 16-year-old daughter, and she threw him out.
Wow.
So I said, you know, in a way, I'm relieved because now I know she's nuts. Because, you know, I can understand she doesn't know Frank, you know, Frank's, you know, got whatever.
Right.
But if you're sleeping with a guy and he brings his child in and you then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
So my Kenny Rogerson story is we're working at Nick's and he comes in, he sees me, he says, hey, how you doing, oven dweller? And I didn't think it was funny, but I didn't think it was unfunny. I don't like jokes about Nazis killing Jews. I don't know, I'm funny that way, but I wasn't upset. I just don't like it. And about a half hour later, he walks up to me and goes, are you mad at me? And I swear to God, I thought he was going to say something like, because I don't give a shit. But I went, no, not at all. He says, okay. And that was, but are you like, he felt like maybe he overstepped him, he overstepped. And then I found out we were sleeping with the same girl who is now dead. Died of a diabetes. No, we didn't kill her. Well, she blabbed. No, she had diabetes. Little blonde named Nancy.
Nancy. We lost Sweetman again?
No, I'm here.
No, he's right there.
I'm gonna be gone just a second. I'll be able to hear you and everything. Just discuss amongst
You're
yourself.
taking a leak, aren't you? You're going to take a leak.
I'm 62, baby.
62.
I'm 74. I get up in the middle of the night more than you get up.
Hello.
You should have your portable with you. You know what I'm saying? Just hang in your chair.
Maybe I should
have portable. Doesn't matter.
Maybe I should have stand seat. I can just squish around in it or something.
Oh, that is so hot.
God, yeah. Just the sound of tinkling off screen, it's fine, Just,
yeah, when someone asks me what's my bag, I hold it up to them.
It's a philosophy bag. There we
go. That's a good one. That's in the
Sam Greenfield. He's a pisser.
Yeah.
He's a pisser.
There you go.
By the way, do you remember Keith Gisser?
Sure do.
Yeah.
Sure do. But most of my gigs in Ohio were from Keith Gisser.
He was married to this girl, and now he's not married to her.
Oh, you need the name?
Oh, are you serious? No, I have no idea what her name is. She was a sweet kid, very I remember the thing I remember about Keith was he had terrible high blood pressure.
Uh-huh.
And he sweated like he was being interrogated by the cops. He sweated profusely.
Thing I remember about Keith Gisser was he was trying to get into the weekend rooms like Sobel and Yoder had, right? He was only able to book those one night, and they were great gigs. Don't get me wrong.
They were.
I mean, his the reason you did Sobel and Yoder was because those 100 nights got made up for on the 800 night weekend or something. You know what I mean? But Gisser was able to get you $400 and $500 for a Tuesday or Wednesday, so that wasn't bad.
Oh, they were fabulous.
Yeah, and they were good audiences too.
Which is amazing on every level.
Yeah, but he had company in that market he was in. There was him, and there was she just passed away recently. What was her name?
In Cleveland?
Yeah. What was that? Well, no, she was in Columbus, but I'm trying to think of her name. Sharon Rarick. Remember Sharon
Rarick? Wait a minute, Sharon Rarick?
Yeah.
Short, chubby woman?
Yep. She just passed away during the pandemic. She passed away. I don't know if she died of COVID or what, but I heard from her daughter. She
was my manager for 2 months.
Oh, okay.
And if I was trying to ruin my career, looking back, that's who I would hire as my manager.
Yeah. She thought she was better than she was, but she handled Diane Ford for a while. Everybody handled Diane Ford.
Oh. So wait a minute. So I'm in DC,
okay,
where I live, with Diane, and Diane Ford and I are working together.
All right.
And Diane Ford says to me, "What are you doing after the show?" And I said, "Well, I only live a few blocks from here." She said, "Well, can I stay with you tonight?" And I went, "Yeah, sure, you bet." And so she spent the night with me. 2 months later, I'm doing a show on TV called Girls Night Out. It was on Lifetime.
I remember that.
Yeah. And I was on that show. That was the best TV set I've ever had in my life. And who was the host? Diane Ford. And this was after we stopped seeing each other. And she never mentioned, I was with my girlfriend, who's now my wife. She never mentioned it. She never brought it up. And I thought, either she's really cool or I'm the worst lay she's ever had. I don't know. I really don't. And so I said to her one day, I saw her a little while later. I said, "Why did you not say anything?" She said, "Well, you were with your girlfriend." And I thought that was really cool of her.
Yeah.
So Sharon Rarick died, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, her husband died, Phil.
Yeah.
And then I think she remarried.
She did remarry. Yeah, she remarried. But I did not know her daughter, but I guess her daughter, because Sharon and I she'd always comment on my pictures. And Sharon and Diane Ford and I were actually all together hanging out downtown Detroit the night before I got married. And I probably didn't get the offer from Diane Ford because Sharon probably told her, "He's getting married tomorrow."
That is absolutely her. Okay.
You can't.
No, seriously.
You can't make him late for his own wedding.
First of all, she couldn't keep a secret if you paid her to keep a secret.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And I also did another TV show. It was, God, I hated that show. Montel Williams' brother was on it. And
was that one out of New Jersey? Is that out of New Jersey or was that in LA?
No, it was in New York. It was in New York.
Okay. Right.
And I don't know if there's a bigger asshole than his brother.
Oh God.
Okay. Because we're doing a thing. Get this. This is a late night comedy, like it was almost like real time. Okay.
Right.
And only not within a light year of being as good.
Okay.
And one of the topics, get this, comedy show, right? One of the topics was prison rape.
Oh, wow.
And so Montel Williams' brother, who really thought he was funny, here's a spoiler alert. He's not. He goes, "So let me ask you a question, Sam. What are you going to do when Big Bubba has his eyes on you?"
Oof.
And I said, "Well, the first thing I'm going to do is say, do you know Montel Williams' brother? He's the guy who tells racist jokes about black men imprisoned."
Ooh.
And he goes, "You think you're funny?" I go, "I'm very funny. And you're so far from funny, you need a map to get back to it."
Hello.
And they said, we're going to go to commercial. I said, no, don't do that. I want to keep shitting on him. And he said, and this is what I thought he was going to threaten me physically, because he's not that bright. And he goes, do you know who my brother is? And I go, oh yeah, he's the successful one.
Ooh.
And so after the show was over, the woman who was the host, who was English, she said, I don't think we're going to have you back on. And I go, I'd like that notarized. I said, why would I want to come back on? You have a black guy doing prison rape jokes about black guys. I said, why didn't someone correct him? Why didn't someone tell him, don't do that?
Yeah.
Well, we think he's charming. I went, that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to hear.
What was
Hey,
the
you
name
know
of
that
show?
guy does the prison rape jokes? He's so charming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was the name of that show out of Jersey that Bill Boggs hosted? What was the name of that? What was the name of that show? Do you remember that one?
Hanging on by a thread?
No. I get it, but
I don't. I remember the show, but I don't remember. I was on that show, and I remember. The reason I remember I was on the show is because I had terrible laryngitis, and Bill Boggs said, "Do you have laryngitis?" I couldn't believe he didn't get this joke. He said, "Do you have bad laryngitis?" I went, "No, I'm Andy Devine."
yeah.
And everybody laughed but him. And he literally mouthed like this.
Who's Andy Devine? Yeah.
And I said, Andy Devine played jingles on Wild Bill Hickok. And he said, what? I go, Guy Madison played Wild Bill Hickok. And he goes, that was before my time. I said, no, it wasn't.
Well, he also played the sheriff in Who Shot Liberty Valance.
The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance?
Yeah. He played the sheriff in that one.
That movie was so good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you something. If you were ever looking for someone to play a horrendously vile, evil prick, Lee Marvin is your man.
He was the guy. Yeah. Oh my God.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Keep talking. I'll be right back.
He was something. My favorite thing in Liberty Valance, when this guy, I think it was Strother Martin.
Yeah.
Comes up to Liberty Valance and goes, I got your food, Liberty. And John Wayne, without looking, gives him a side kick to the face and knocks him out. Like that. Just not even looking. Wham! Just a side kick to the face. Oh, man. Jimmy Stewart. John Wayne. Woody Strode. Woody Strode
was fantastic. Who's the guy?
Vera Miles.
And the guy who played the publisher was also very good.
Edmund O'Brien.
That's right. Yeah.
Ken. Oh, he did those films, home movies of famous Hollywood people. I'll never remember it.
No, some great lines from that movie. Just the Jimmy Stewart character, Lee Marvin.
Well, I really want to bang your wife, but Jimmy Stewart told a great story that he's from Nebraska, I believe, and his father owned a hardware store, and his father, Jimmy Stewart, told this story on the Tonight Show. He said his father was not taken with famous people. He didn't care. He said, they make a living doing something. I make a living doing something. And his father owned a hardware store. So his mother, Jimmy Stewart's mother, put up a sign that says, Jimmy Stewart, father, owns this store. And his father wasn't happy about that. And people would come in saying, I'd like to meet Jimmy Stewart's father. Right? So there was a guy who used to come into. Do you want me to start over?
Jimmy Stewart is from Indiana, Pennsylvania. So just.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
Yeah.
He owned a. Did you hear any of the story I was telling?
I was listening the whole time. I'm not that.
Okay, good. So his father owned
we were
a
joking
hardware
about we were
store.
joking about peeing. That's not why I had to leave. I had a
Ah,
I had a daughter issue. So
That's okay.
Okay.
Well, it's not, but Anyway, so people would come in saying, "We want to see Jimmy Stewart's father." And there was an alcoholic named Andy, sorry about that, who used to
Oh.
come into the store, Jimmy Stewart's father's hardware store, and sit in front of the pot-bellied stove and drink and pass out. So Jimmy Stewart's father, we want to meet Jimmy Stewart's father. He says, "Here, let me take you over to him." And he would take him to Andy, this drunk who's sitting there. And he goes, "As you can see, Jimmy's father's fallen on hard times." And he did that to himself. That's how much he hated famous people.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Wow.
funny.
That's
And
a good one.
Stewart, I think he was in the Air Force Reserve.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did I tell you I read this? Who's the most unpopular actor in all of Hollywood? And it's not close. Steven Seagal.
Ah,
Oh, I thought he went to Russia. I thought he's
Well, he read the petition and packed his bags.
Yeah, I heard he's not well liked.
Well, now what's he done to his? I understand people dye their hair. I get that. Okay,
mhm.
but he looks awful.
Well, speaking of people dyeing their hair, have you seen the new movie, the airplane movie with Tom
Cruise? Yeah, I think
Oh,
it
yeah.
was great.
Yeah, you weren't
Yeah,
here
it's
last.
great-
You weren't
great
here
movie,
last
but
week,
it's like-
but Sam was recommending it highly.
Yeah,
It's a good film. I'm just saying, like, it's not far from the original one. It's actually pretty good. There are two things though.
The original one was horrible.
The hair coloring on both Tom and the other guys.
Val
it's like
Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. It's like, you guys can be 60 years old.
I understand. I could excuse Val Kilmer because a lot of guys with blonde hair, they don't go gray right away. They
Right
really
away.
don't.
Yeah.
But Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
But you know something? I can't explain this, but he carries it off.
Well, see, here's the thing. They should. This is a comedy bit they missed. They should have shown him putting it on.
Oh, that's
They should have shown him
funny.
as a
That's
pilot
funny.
putting it on.
That's
That would be perfect for Maverick.
And
That
as long
would
as long as we're getting into movies here, I want to ask you about you're watching The Offer, right?
I'm watching The Offer. Yeah.
Now, do you have
what's
Paramount
that
Plus?
on Apple?
It's on Paramount Plus. Hold on just a second, though. I want
Paramount.
you to see it, Sam. Do you pay for your Paramount Plus, or do you have the free subscription?
I have to pay for it, but I don't have a cable thing, so I don't have a
So you get it through
setup.
like a phone. You get it through like a phone plan or something.
I get it through the phone. I get it through the phone stuff.
Okay.
And there's
So,
like
but
an
it-
$11.
It's not like we could refer Sam to some channel where he could see it, then, right? Because ours is a paid service too.
Miles
Like-
Teller is in that, right?
Yes.
Yes, he is
But
brilliant.
I don't know.
He's brilliant in Top Gun.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he looks like a young what's that? The guy from what's his name? Damn it! Oh, Angie, what's his name? Robert Mitchum. He looks like a young Robert Mitchum.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah. And the
Got
guy
those,
the guy who plays Robert Evans is awesome.
Oh God, yes, he is so good. You watch the documentary of Robert Evans, and then you watch him, and it's
Watch
just
him,
such
yeah.
a
I
great.
love the documentary on Robert Evans.
Sam,
Oh, it was great.
Sam, if you get to see The Offer, it's
The
a
kid stays in the picture. Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
mini-
I
Miniseries.
plan to.
It's a
Yeah.
miniseries on the making of The Godfather. It's great. I mean, I would recommend if anybody wants to watch at least the first two Godfathers. You could skip 3 and 4, but watch the first two Godfathers and then watch this miniseries. It is
It is good.
There wasn't a wait a minute. Wait. There wasn't a 4.
There wasn't a fourth. Only 3.
No.
Only 3.
No.
Okay.
Once they made the one with
Wasn't there the one where Michael Corleone fights Rocky Balboa? I thought there was one where.
No.
Rocky.
Michael Corleone plays Rocky Balboa.
No, he fights Rocky. Doesn't Michael Corleone fight Rocky Balboa? I thought that.
No, he fought Mr. T.
Mr. T. Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
So
Anyway,
And in fact, Mr. T owned a gasoline station, which is where the line "I pity the fuel."
I pity the fuel.
There you go. I pity the fuel.
God, did I
I'll
go
tell
a
you,
long way for that piece of shit?
You went a long way. It was a long way. But I just want one more thing about the offer is that it's really written for people who are in the business, I think, because they really kind of try and get into the psyche of why these people are crazy about doing the movies, and what is it that drives them towards it.
Can I tell you what I think about at least once or twice every episode, is how kind the writers were to women. They really go out of their way to make women look very strong in this, I think, because
that's
women
always
have
been my criticism of Mamet, is that he writes really shitty for women.
Dan, when you see this and you realize this was done in 1972, 73, and then what they did was they made the women sort of like the background stars, which they may have been, actually, if you think about it. And the guy who's the executive producer on this one executive producer is the star, the guy who reminds Andy of Robert Mitchum. And the other one is the actual Albert Ruddy, who was in fact the producer of The Godfather.
You know what amazes me? Am I wrong about this? They wanted Robert Redford at one time to play Michael Corleone.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah, they go through that too. That you see all that arguing about casting decisions and all that.
Thank God he turned it down. Thank God.
I'm not sure he even turned it down. There was a scene where they met with Robert Redford, right?
Yeah, they got him into another movie. The guy who did not the Evans character, but the guy producing, he did Hogan's Heroes. It shows the actual pitch for Hogan's Heroes and how and why it was taken.
Yeah, that was a good scene too. That was good. The pitch.
That was a good scene.
The movie about
then they talk about how he was trying to get
for the pitch for Hogan's Heroes. Now,
do you know what a movie you were talking about? Movies that were like for people in Hollywood. You know a movie that was absolutely for people in Hollywood, The Player.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Robert Altman's The Player.
Robert Altman, great film.
One of the funniest lines in that movie. Maybe it's the funniest line. Well, first of all, there was the line where Peter Gallagher says, I'm sorry I was late. I was at an AA meeting. And Tim Robbins goes, oh, I didn't know you had problems. And he goes, I don't, but that's where all the deals are made.
Yeah.
But the funny line is, towards the end, when Whoopi Goldberg and Lyle Lovett are cops, and what clever casting that was, seriously. There's a woman there who's going to identify the killer, and she goes, yes, that's him. That's him. I'd swear on my mother's grave, that's him. And it turns out it was him, but they blew it. They got it. And Whoopi Goldberg says to the woman, can I ask you a question? Where the fuck is your mother buried? Because that ain't him. Oh God. Fred Ward was in that, the guy who just died.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tim Robbins, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I really like the clever allusions to Sunset Boulevard. The guy kept making these and at the Altino Hotel
and a really pretty actress who was gorgeous, Greta Scacchi.
Oh yeah, she was actually she was in the movie. One of my other favorite movies is the Coca-Cola Kid.
She was also in the movie with Harrison Ford, where he was accused of killing someone, killing her, and it turned out to be his wife who killed her.
Oh, I think that was filmed in Detroit. That was filmed in Detroit.
I can't remember who played his wife. She's a pretty well-known actress, but I can't remember.
Bedelia, Melinda.
Bonnie Bedelia.
Bonnie Bedelia, that was it. Bonnie Bedelia.
Yeah. So that was filmed in Detroit. It wasn't an indecent proposal, or was it?
No. It was presumed innocent.
Presumed innocent. That's it. Yeah.
Indecent Proposal was Robert Redford asking if he could fuck Demi Moore.
Oh yeah, for $1 million. Yeah.
Listen, honey, this guy wanted to ask me to pay me to have sex with you. Did you get it? Yes. That's how I bought this jar of relish. Hello? Are you there, honey? Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
It's good, honey, it's good relish. Demi Moore, Woody Harrelson. You know, Bruce Willis said that the way that Demi Moore looked in Ghost is the girl he fell in love with. That look. And I said, well, fuck, what do you think? You think that was a tough decision to fall in love with a woman who looked like Demi Moore in Ghost? Gee, did you have to stretch your believability? Go fuck yourself. Of course you did. She was stunning. God damn. Oh,
Yeah.
you know, I know she looked like a dog, but there was something about her. Go fuck yourself, you idiot. No wonder he can't talk now.
That's true.
Yeah. You know Sheila Kay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sheila Kay and I are in LA. Hey, that rhymed. Sheila Kay and I are in LA, and Bruce Willis is there standing with Woody Harrelson at the Improv. And Sheila Kay says, my daughter is crazy about Bruce Willis. Do you think it'd be okay if I asked for his autograph? And I said, the honest answer to that is, I don't know. But he's not going to punch you in the mouth. Ask him. So she goes up and asks for his autograph, and he snatches the pen from her, and he writes his autograph, and it was illegible. And he looks at her, he shoves it back at her, and he says, hey, babe, next time try a more unique approach.
Wow. Wow.
I got a Bruce Willis LA story. They were filming.
All right, I'm ready.
They were filming Moonlighting in my neighborhood. I don't know if you knew about my neighborhood in LA, but we lived right off a parking lot C by LAX.
Oh, yeah.
It was because I worked at night and the traffic was less at night. We decided it was better to be closer to Sue's job, and she worked in Inglewood. And so we lived right there by LAX. It was great for me because I didn't need to park a car. I just walked to parking lot C and took the shuttle bus over to catch airplanes when I needed to go on the road. But along Wiley Post Boulevard.
Wow.
A great name for a road to put near a runway, I thought. But anyway.
No shit.
Right there, but there was Amelia in our neighborhood.
What's that sound lane?
Exactly. In our neighborhood, our streets were Wiley Post, Amelia Earhart, all these people that went down, you know. It's like Glenn Miller, you know.
No respect. No respect.
All these aviators that went down, or all the roads were named in our neighborhood after these people. We did have a Kitty Hawk. I guess Kitty Hawk was a pretty.
Gotcha.
But anyway,
it was a stripper.
Along Wiley Post Avenue there, they would film a lot of when they wanted to show at the airport, and they could get a lot of film equipment on this road. It was mostly parking lot. There was a Little League field there, which had to be the worst Little League field in the world to play on because every 2 minutes another plane was flying over your head, you know. But anyway, they were filming Moonlighting there one time, some chasing or something like that. So I'm walking Michael around the block, and Michael had to be about, I don't know, 2 or 3 at the time. So he's just talking, and so we see him. So I'm walking by, and so we're just trying to get by because it's our neighborhood. We were there first. That's why I usually walk around the block with my kid. And so Bruce Willis just kind of comes out of this makeup tent or whatever he's in and says, hey, look, Michael, it's David Addison. David Addison was the name of the character.
Right, in Moonlighting.
And Michael goes, David Letterman, like a little 3-year-old voice. And Willis looks at him and goes, no, not him. And then walks off.
Wow. How charming.
Letterman.
So he wasn't just a dick to Sheila Kay. He was a dick to a 2-year-old.
He was a dick to my 2-year-old, yeah.
Wow. Well, you know, yeah.
Scott Krantz knew, you know him.
And you heard about what you heard about
New York.
You heard about before we get off of Bruce Willis, you heard he's retired now, right? Did you hear about that?
Well, he can't talk.
Yeah,
right,
I can't talk.
right. But have you seen? Go look up his filmography in Wikipedia. He's phoned in about 18 films. I mean, during the pandemic, you'll see, and you can tell by looking at the films that he's done, that he did like maybe a one-day shoot, and they filmed everything in. He barely moves. He basically has a role where he sits or, turns and looks.
He was ill at the time.
Yes, like for the last 3 years, he's been doing. He's done.
I didn't know it was the. Oh man,
he's got about 18 films, so that's about one every 2 months, where he just kind of like he adds his name, and you look at the films, you're like, there's no big name producers, there's no big money behind it. It was just him trying to get whatever he could, because they're very
well. Sean Hannity, divorced his wife, and he's dating that girl from Fox and Friends. And they said, yeah, we've been dating for about a year and a half. He's been divorced for 11 years.
Hannity?
Yeah, or separated from his wife for 11 years. And I know for a fact that no one fucked around more than him. No one. And I'm very surprised he never got nailed by, and when I say nailed, I don't mean sexually, nailed by the women who worked at ABC radio. Yeah, he was, I'm not saying he was Bill Cosby. But he wasn't faithfully married. He's a dick.
He's no Cosby.
No, he's no. No. He didn't ask anybody to lick his pudding pop.
Hey, it's our music. It's our closing music.
Put the pills in the pudding.
Well, it's another 90 minutes on a Monday night.
God bless you all. I will see you next. I will see you in hell, Colonel.
Next
week.
Wait
a minute. Happy Father's Day, Mark.
That would be in 2 weeks.
No, it's next week.
No,
it's this coming Sunday, isn't it?
No, this coming Sunday is the 12th, and Father's Day is the 19th.
Why do we get fucked over for an extra week? God damn, we suck.
Not only that, but Mother's Day, they didn't decide to put a national holiday on Mother's Day, but now we got to share Father's Day with Juneteenth.
Oh, that's right.
I can't wait to hear the hate that comes out, because they passed it too quickly last year. Last year they passed it, and then we had the holiday 2 weeks later. It didn't have the haters enough time to ramp up their hate for Juneteenth. So I can't wait to hear what they got in store for Juneteenth this year.
Well, they have a choice when that happens. They can either hate that, or they can keep saying, "Here come the Mexicans." That's all they talk about on Fox and Friends. There was a Nobel Prize for a guy who cured cancer, but he wasn't Mexican. They're terrible people. Anyway, guys, take care. Stay well.
Oh, yeah.
So long. We'll see everybody next Monday. Thanks for coming.
I'll see you in hell, Colonel.
Keep them. Yes. I'll see you too. Yes. Thanks. Good night, everybody.
We could give you a major title. There we go.